What is up, guys? Mauna here from MauGT back again with another video. I uploaded yesterday and I'm uploading today, and I'm glad that I can do back-to-back videos for a little while, at least until school starts. So yesterday I promised that there would be a new video coming up, both in the video I did yesterday on how to run Fortnite on Android devices with root and an unlocked bootloader. Go ahead and check that out in the description below if you want to. And in that video I promised that I would drop a review on the SoundBuds Slim. Now, before we jump into the beginning of the review, just wanted to point out that the Slims do come with this nice pouch. Now, there's an updated model of these, which I believe is called the SoundBuds Slim Plus. I'll link both these and the updated version in the description below. These are just the basic versions. The only difference between the two is that the SoundBuds Slim Plus have aptX for a better Bluetooth connection, or Bluetooth audio connection, better audio. And these do not, but everything else about them is exactly the same. With the SoundBuds Slim Plus, you'll get this hard shell case, I believe, with a little zipper, but with this you get this soft pouch. It's got this opening here, and then the Slims will just slot right in there. While it's not like completely closed off and doesn't protect the Slims entirely, I do like this a little bit better because it folds up nicely in my pocket, and it's just a little bit more compact than that case. And it's very easy to wrap them up in there. There's no specific way you have to do it to get them to fit in there. They fit in there pretty easily. What I usually do is I take the Slims long ways, fold them up like that, fold them up again. I'm trying to do this from behind the camera so it's a little harder. But this is usually what I do, and I just pop it open, stuff them inside, make sure the cable's tucked away in there, and the Slims are in there, and it still folds up with the Slims in there. And then I just pull them out, turn them on, and set them up. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is the design of the SoundBuds Slim. This is easily one of my favorite parts about the thing. Now, when I first got these, I thought the remote control was a little bit big, but it's kind of grown on me, and it's really not as big as I thought. I've used, I believe, a bigger remote, like this, for example. So here is a remote from like a basic cheap pair of Bluetooth earphones. This is just the shell for it, and you can see it's a little bit longer. Let's go ahead and bring this closer up to the camera here. You can see it's a little bit longer. It's also a tad bit wider, and it just doesn't feel as premium as this. So the plastic is a really good quality here. The whole cable, like everything, is just really good quality. The rubber, it doesn't, affect my neck. It's not scratchy. The cable's long enough, and I really like all of those things. Not to mention, the buds do have IPX6, I believe. It's either X6 or X7, I don't quite remember. But they do have a little bit of ingress water protection. They're not totally waterproof. I definitely wouldn't recommend going swimming with them. I wouldn't recommend going swimming with any type of buds. But I've used these during workouts. I've used them in the rain. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and talk about how to set up the SoundBuds Slim, and we're also going to talk about the controls and how to pair it to multiple devices. So right now the SoundBuds Slim are off. So if we go ahead and unlock our HTC 10 here, and we hop into Bluetooth settings, and we go ahead and power Bluetooth on. Let's go ahead and forget them from our device. Alright, so once we have forgotten them from our device, we're going to go ahead and refresh. So to turn on the SoundBuds Slim, you just hold the middle button here, which is also the play pause button. Go ahead and hold down that button. Sometimes it doesn't work, which is one issue with them, but we go ahead and hold down on that. You see the blue light starts flashing, which means they're ready to be paired up. So we go ahead and hit refresh. They should show up here in just a second as SoundBuds Slim. So we go ahead and tap on those to connect to them. See it says pairing. Go going to go ahead and allow that. Hit pair, connected. As you can see, they are connected here, and in newer versions of Android and some custom ROMs, you should get a battery level indicator. You should also get that on iOS as well. Now, to pair these to a secondary device, we can go ahead and hold the volume up and volume down together, and that will put the buds back into pairing mode. So now if I wanted to go to my laptop, another phone, a tablet, I could easily just pair them up with that device if I wanted to. But we're going to go ahead and reconnect them to the Slims, and you'll see that light will go solid, which means they are now connected. So now I'm going to show you guys the controls. So we're going to start with the middle button. So the middle button can be used to answer calls, reject calls, all that good stuff, but you can also hold it down for a brief second to activate Google Assistant. So it'll activate Google Assistant, and you can use the microphone on the earphones themselves to talk to Google Assistant. It should also activate Siri if you were to do the same thing on an iPhone. Not to mention, sorry about that. Not to mention, this same button can also be used to turn off the SoundBuds Slims themselves. Now, let's go ahead and use Google Assistant to get to the next part of what we're doing. Open Spotify. Alright, so we are now into Spotify, and now I'm going to show you the media controls. So the volume up and volume down, at least on Android, only changes the Slim's volume itself. It doesn't change the volume on your device. Now, if you're using this with a Windows 10 computer, in my experience, in my use, the volume up and volume down buttons do control. Now we're going to talk about sound quality. Sound quality is one of the most important things for, a lot of people who listen to their music. There are a lot of people out there that, don't really care. They're fine with, the earphones that come in the box with their phone, or, they're cool with picking up a cheap pair of earphones from the dollar store. Now, I'm no audiophile, but I definitely can't listen to, earphones they give you on the airplane, cheap dollar store earphones, because a lot of my music is bass heavy, and even the songs that I listen to that aren't bass heavy, there's a lot of vocals in it, and I need really good earphones that provide an all-around good sound, good bass, good balanced sound for my music. Again, I'm not an audiophile, but I enjoy higher quality sound. I'm definitely not going to complain if I get a higher quality listening experience. While these aren't the updated versions and they don't have aptX Bluetooth aptX support, they sound really, really good. They get decently loud, and even at lower volumes, so they get decently loud. At loud volumes, they are still clear, no distortion. They sound great at low volumes as well. The bass is pretty good. Now, the thing that I've been waiting so long in this video to talk about is battery life. Now, Bluetooth headphones can have hit or miss battery life, and it has to be properly implemented in order for the device to have good battery life. Now, this depends. The battery life can change based on the type of music you listen to, at what volume you listen to the music at. It can even depend on the device you connect it to and how that device interfaces with your earphones. Now, I will say I've used this on both Android 7.0 and 8.0. I've used this on Windows 10, and I've used it on Fedora Linux. On all of those, setups and configurations, battery life has never been a problem for me whatsoever. As you can see right here, the battery is close to 50% with that battery indicator right there. The battery is close to 50%. I charged these yesterday, and I don't plan on charging them again until tomorrow. There have been times where I charge this up to 100%, and I don't have to charge them for 2 or 3 days. And that's honestly really impressive. And this is, me using them every day, having them just around my neck, connected to my phone for when I need to use them. So the standby is really good as well. Listening to my music at high volumes, bass heavy music, it still holds its charge extremely well. Now, it's advertised that these should get about 7 hours of battery life, and that is pretty close. I recently took a trip, I took an international trip. So, before we get to the, overview and conclusion, I would like to touch on the things that I don't really like about these. And really, that's only two things. I really don't have many complaints about these. The earbuds themselves are metal and very durable. I've dropped them a couple times and, nothing has happened to them. The cord is also very durable. It's stiff but flexible enough that it fits comfortably around your neck. So I really don't have very many complaints about the SoundBuds Slim. But of the two complaints that I have, one of them can be fixed, and it may not be on everyone's unit, but I have fixed one of the issues that I had personally. And the second issue can't be fixed like on your device itself, but if they were to release an updated version, this is something I would like to see. So both of them have to do with the charging port. So as you can see, this charging flap here does look cut, and that is because I cut it. It wasn't closing all the way over, and I figured, that's probably not good for the ingress protection. So I cut the tab just a little bit so it would fit all the way down, so it would fit flush onto the charging port. Albeit it is a little bit harder to peel up now, but it does cover the port a little bit better. So that was one complaint that I had about it, which I don't really have anymore. That's kind of a quality control thing. They should, pay attention to that and maybe make it close a little bit better. I don't know if that's updated on the SoundBuds Slim Plus, but that is something that I wish they would have, paid more attention to on these, because, when you're advertising ingress protection, it's kind of important that, everything that's giving your device that rating is, in place and working properly. The second thing that I had... Alrighty guys, and we have now come to the conclusion of the SoundBuds Slim. So, I touched on design, battery life, sound quality, setup, and overall, these are an amazing pair of Bluetooth earphones. They're the best pair of Bluetooth earphones that I have used. Now, I have used AirPods, and I do like AirPods a little bit better. That's simply because of their design, the functionality, the way they work. But if you want to pick up a relatively cheap pair of Bluetooth earphones, I got these for about $25 on Amazon. So if you want to pick up a really good pair of wireless earphones on a budget, these are definitely the ones I would recommend. They have a magnetic clasp, so they clip around your neck. They come with several different ear hooks and tips for the best fit in your ear. There's a clip and a cable kind of holder thing to keep them securely fastened around your neck. The controls are great and tactile. The battery life is amazing.